In this lesson, we'll cover sections. So a section is a cut through a plan or your three-dimensional model to show you an interior cut or face or a real-life 3D view of that area. For example, I would like to see in detail the HVAC unit and ductwork inside of this space. I can't see it through current elevations, so I'll make a section at a specific point or line and view from that area. So to create this section, let's go to the View tab on your ribbon, and then in the Create area, click Section. The first thing it wants you to do is pick a point to start to draw your section line. Well, I'll click a point above the actual area to the left of what I want to section, or view. Go ahead and left click and start to drag your mouse. As you do, you see the section symbol, the section line, and the end mark. And then drag this to include everything you want to see within that section. So I'll go below the walls on the bottom and left click again. Now after you left click again, you'll actually see a dashed line representing the field of view of what you'll see inside of this section. Well, right now it's viewing a little too much, so I can adjust this by dragging the arrows to pull that depth in and or the crop to the right or the left to include more or include less. Now, if you drew the section in the wrong direction, there are two arrows to allow you to flip the section. Clicking on those will flip the section mark itself. If the orientation of the section is not in the correct angle, you can use the rotation icons to rotate the actual section. Note that the section symbol does not have anything in it right now. That text will be filled out when you place the section on a sheet. Once you're done at this point, simply click away from the section and that section mark is created. To see this information again, simply click the section line. Once you do, you'll see the same symbols highlight, and you'll also see the information in the Properties area on the left. Here you can go in and set the various values and controls for the section, including the clip and changing the section name. So if I scroll down, I see this section has a view name called Section 9. Or I could call it something different. So let's go look at Section 9. So in the project browser in the lower left, scroll down to Sections, Mechanical, and then double-click Section 9. This will open up the section in its default orientation and default settings. So right now I see everything, but really I don't want to include the first floor or the third floor. I just really want the second floor section of the HVAC system. So I can adjust the crop. That's the rectangular box around the outside. Simply click on it and then move your mouse over one of the dots and drag the crop box in around the area that you only want to include. Or you could enlarge this if you wanted to include a larger area. Once you're done, simply click away from the crop box to deselect the movement. To visually turn off the crop box, you can do this in the Properties area on the left. Under Extents, I could uncheck mark Crop Region Visible and apply that, and that would turn off the actual crop box. I also can change the detail level so I can see more. So right now I'm just seeing a line for the HVAC ductwork, but really I would like to see its full detail. Well, you could change that setting in the Properties box on the left under Detail Level, or I could also use the icon on the very bottom to change the detail level here. And I'll set the detail level to fine, so I actually see the true size of the ductwork. Now, other things you could do within the view, you could override the graphics visibility of the elements you currently see within the view. So for example, I have this grid line. Maybe I don't want to see grids. So I could go to the Visibility Graphics Override within the view and click Edit, and then I could find grids under Annotation, and I could turn off my grids just by deselecting. Apply, and OK. And now I no longer see the grid mark within this view. So as a review, what we looked at in this lesson was creating sections. We first started out with a plan view and created a section mark. With the section mark created, we defined the view range or what we want to see within that section. Then we went to the actual section view itself. On the section view itself, we modified, again, what we were looking at, the view range, the right, the left, the top, the bottom, by shrinking the crop box. We turned the crop box off And then we looked at other ways to turn off the visibility of various elements within this view.